La vida es tal vez un sueño. Esta carrera. Tecpan Xela. Alright guys, I'm going to speak in Spanish for a second here. Muchas gracias, Revolution Bikes. Muchas gracias, Adventure Tours Guatemala. Y gracias para todo. Gorgeous, like, wow, like after blood. That was the craziest shit I think I've ever done.
That was some fucking wild shit.
That was fucking crazier than the Baja 1000, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean...
Woo! So,
Sí. Entonces solo por aquí y los últimos donde está el 3, 2, 1, fuera.
Yo fui a esta carrera con mi amigo Chris y yo pienso es posible, es fácil, pero después 8 horas manejar. Oh, wow. Super cansado y mis brazos son fuego. Esta carrera es so cool. Es Tecpan Xela. Wow, me gusta. So muchas gracias a todo. Y esta historia. How do you tell a story like this? ¿Está bien? Adios, moto. The only thing I could think was, let's go back in time and let's do it in chronological order. Let's go back through all the craziness, right back to the start 8 hours ago. Over 1,000 bikes were in the paddock. I couldn't find my bike for like 30 minutes. Finally found my bike and I said, hey, when do I go? They said, get on your bike, you go right now. I jumped on the street, off we went, we got in the dirt. The trail started immediately, and I really didn't know what I was in for with this one. I knew it was going to be cool. I saw some videos from prior races, and it started out kind of mellow on these dirt roads, and then all of a sudden it was just amazing. The whole day it went from single track to rivers to forest to dry to roads to hill climbs to descents. Over 1,000 motorcycles were in this race. And the thing that really surprised me was how all of the locals came out to cheer us on. It was wild. Look at this. This is the first bottleneck here. I thought, man, what are we doing? And I was watching dudes go up the other side while we were sitting here in this slam funnel. There's Chris, my buddy. He was like, man, what are we doing, dude? And he just jumped right in and rode through the bushes and went past the whole crowd. I think he passed like 50 guys within 2 seconds. Everybody else is being so polite, and I thought, I better do the same thing. I got in this race, and I thought, I'm going to ride this sucker, and I'm going to finish. So right there, I'm asking the dude, Panqueque or... No, es la primera. Okay. I was asking him, I said, what is this? And it said Libre. And he said it was just pin it and win it. So this is like a timed section. I haven't even figured out how the points work on this race, but you just rip it on these little sections. This is probably like a 3 or 4 mile section. That dude obviously knew the trail. I couldn't believe it, but I just thought, you know what? To finish first you have to finish, and I didn't really want to finish first. I just wanted to finish. So I got on my bike and I did my ride. I tried not to go too fast, and I really didn't fall down that much during the race. I didn't get hurt, and I was able to finish. And you know, that's the thing I know about these fast guys. You know, they go ripping by you, and next thing you know, I just keep on it. Those guys spin out or crash or whatever. So I've always got my 2 rules of a ride. One is have fun, the other one's don't crash. So I try to keep it in that order, and it seems to work out pretty well. There he goes again. And the thing I know about racing is every time I see a dude go by, I know I'm going to see him up the trail. It's inevitable. It's always the same guys. I'll see him 4 hours later, 5 hours later. I've got my endurance dialed in. Now this race, look at all those kids, isn't that cool? This race was about 3.5 hours to the lunch spot through some of the most gorgeous country I think I've ever seen. And then there was like a 20-minute rest spot kind of by the lake, Atitlan, which is just gorgeous. And then we did another 4.5 hours in the saddle. There was a time limit on the race of 8 hours. I think I did it in like 7.5 or something like that. And I had no problem until I got to about hour 6.5. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. But on this day, look at the kids everywhere. It was so cool. Everybody was out. This was like such a big event for them. The trail was so varied. It was absolutely gorgeous. But I saw more of Guatemala during this race. Look at all these guys. I mean, everywhere people are out, hanging out, watching the race. But I saw more of Guatemala in 8 hours than probably most people will see of Guatemala in their whole life. And I'm talking about locals too. Look at this. We were going right through villages. We were going right through towns. We were going through forests and rivers. And just up, down through fields. And all these kids were so excited to see us. Look at the people up top. It was awesome. It just really, I tried to wave to everybody and give them a thumbs up, the whole deal. They wanted to give you a high five. And even at one point, you'll see in the video, the kids were throwing balloons. And when I say balloons, I mean water balloons. And I thought, oh yeah, they got the dude in front of me. They're not going to get me, but kid was hiding behind a tree. He got me. So, but yeah, look at this terrain. A lot of these trails are Mayan Indian trails. These are people walking trails that we've repurposed for this race into single track trails. I've never seen anything like this in my life. It was just awesome. Going down these mountains, man, some of these dudes were just ripping. I could hear them on me and I'd, let them pass, but again, I knew as I went along with the race, I'd see them again, and I kept seeing the same dudes again and again. It was like there were 50 of us that were just bunched up, and I'd pass them, they'd pass me, they'd stop, I'd go, whatever. I'd gas out, and they'd go past me, whatever it was. But, I mean, look at this people everywhere. Reminded me so much of the Baja 1000, how excited everybody gets. And these river crossings just kept coming and coming and coming, and I really thought, man, there's got to be some boulders in there. I've drowned some bikes in Guatemala before, and not today. They didn't get me today. This was cool, this trail. It just wound in and out through the forest, and beautiful. The terrain was so varied, just gorgeous. So you're probably asking, how do you get involved in something like this? What are you doing in Guatemala? And I don't know. It's like I was saying at the start of the video, life's a dream. My wife's from down here, but we live in Las Vegas, Nevada, but now we have a place down in Guatemala. I met the boys from Revolution Bikes, the beta dealer, Diego Bauer and Sebastian, and they hooked me up with a bike. So I got a 2022 Beta RR race. The bike is just dynamite. I love it. So I got my bike there ready to go, and every time I'm in Guatemala, I go for a ride with the guys, especially Jose Rivas from Adventure Tours in Antigua, Guatemala. The guys here, they welcome you with open arms. Doesn't matter if you're hanging out with the Beta Boys or the KTM guys, Sherco. Everybody was so nice. Look at all those people. It just blows me away. Look at that. It was like a whole school of people out there. This was a Saturday. We got to the race site at 7 a.m. and like I said, by the time I found my bike, it was time to go, and I got off the bike at about 5 o'clock, something like that. This race was 260 kilometers, so I think in miles that's about 160 miles. And as you can see, with terrain like this, that'll wear you out. I'm used to Moran races in Nevada that are about 70 miles to 90 miles.
Las Vegas.
Vegas?
Yeah.
Houston.
Houston?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well done.
Yeah, all these dudes are so cool. They just, you know, a lot of times my Spanish isn't the best, but I'm working on it. Someday it'll be better. I've been working on it for 15 years, but look at all these dudes out here everywhere. I could say hello to anybody, and you know, everybody was super, super nice. And this is the first 3 hours of the race you're seeing. This is like, we're not even at the lunch spot yet, which is amazing. So going through these rivers, we went up and over and through the mountains, and then all of a sudden we got up on top of the mountain, and then we're coming up here, and we'll come into this trail. It's called Caracol. Beautiful. Look at that. That's Lake Atitlan there. There's, I think, 7 volcanoes around this lake. This is another ancient Mayan path. I believe that's what it is. It might be a Spanish road, but this is basically a trail that's easy 400 years old. It must be 2,000 feet down this trail. This one's famous. And I'd seen videos on it. I just couldn't even fathom what it was going to be. But, you know, I just kept rolling down this trail and was just getting beat up. And then you'd see the locals here with, I mean, they had so much stuff they were carrying. Look at these ancient steps here. This is amazing. This goes down into a town called San Antonio Polo Po. Here's another bottleneck. Look, there's another one of the dudes right by. I'll see that guy again later in the day. But these steps are no joke because they were kind of slanted backwards. And as you went down, you just felt like your bike, if you weren't going fast enough, was just going to nose into them. You're going to flip over. Look at this. We got down this, and it's like, I thought, okay, that's it. Nope, that wasn't it. This was tight, bottlenecked, and up here, the guys are just walking the bikes through. You know, everybody's asking me where I was from, too, you know, because they could see. All these guys know each other. There might have been 1,000 bikes there, but I know these guys all know each other. It's like Vegas. We all seem to know. But check this out. This was some of the gnarliest, tightest terrain I've seen. This was, I mean, for me, I love hard enduro. I really do. I don't know about extreme enduro. This is kind of extreme. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it was just fun. All of it was doable. It was just kind of, you had to follow the old inch by an inch, so everything's a cinch kind of rule. Because there were some really tight spots, and you know, it was like, luckily I wasn't even gassed here at all, which was nice. And again, these are not small rocks by any means, and this is a people trail. Woo! This is used every day by the locals, and we're riding dirt bikes down it, and this keeps dropping down. I mean, look at how high we are, still above the lake there, and these dudes are out there watching, just, you know, checking it out, seeing what's up, cheering us on. I just kept going down. Look at, that's an irrigation ditch there too, coming off the mountain out of a little spring to feed these fields and stuff. It's just so interesting to watch this. And as we dropped down into the town, it was like watching one of those Red Bull videos in Valparaiso, Chile, where they're riding through the town. I just couldn't believe it. Look how beautiful that lake is. It's one of the 10 most beautiful lakes in the world. The kids are out, again, everywhere. And here we go, down into San Antonio, Polo Po, down to the lake. And these stairs, I know on a GoPro they don't look very steep, but trust me, we're going down a pretty good descent here, and it gets steeper as we went. Native people everywhere, the Mayan Indians, they're so nice, and you know, nobody was upset about 1,000 bikes coming through this little tiny trail through their town. I mean, we went through so many towns. It was so cool. I just, again, it's like I saw so much of Guatemala on this day, and my buddy Chris, he saw it. I don't think he knew what to expect. Honestly, I didn't either, but when we got done, you heard our commentary there at the finish line. And that Chris dude, he finished an hour before me, and he had a flat tire, didn't speak any Spanish, and got the tire fixed. So he was hauling the mail. Look at those guys carrying wood. Here we are. This is the road around the lake down here. Guys, that's normal. They carry stuff on their head. They have a smartphone in their hand. It's modern society meets Mayan Indians. Really very interesting. If you ever get a chance to go to Guatemala, definitely go to Antigua. Go to this lake, Lake Atitlan, if nothing else. This, man, Guatemala is such a dynamic, diverse, beautiful place. It's just gorgeous. Look at that. Here we are. This is Santa Catarina, Polopo. Another really beautiful town right after San Antonio, Polopo. And we just kept trucking around, and here we are in Panajachel. And that's the other thing. Look, these are rally riders, so they were on a different trail than us, and this is the lunch spot. There must have been 500 bikes in here. I was just like, oh man. So they brought the rally bikes together and the dirt bikes, and then off we went, back up the hill. This is the second part of the day now. Here we go up through a town called Solola. Look at that, we're just going right through the streets, and again, people are out everywhere cheering us on. Kids are so cool. Look at that little dude. Every once in a while I'd like touch their hand. I didn't want to slap them too hard because I thought, man, I'll make them cry. I'm going so, I don't know. I always think I'm going fast. I'm probably not, but whatever. And this area north of Atitlan, I'm not as familiar with it, between Atitlan and Xela. I always saw it. There it comes. That's the water balloon right there. He got me. Those kids. And here's another Libre section. This is a section called Panqueque. I had watched this. I never realized how steep it was, and to have bikes all stacked up on it, the heat was kind of radiating off the ground. We were probably at 10,000 feet here too, maybe 9,000. So I was huffing and puffing. But every time I've watched videos, it's usually like Sebastian or Diego Bauer's videos. And those guys are good. I was like, whoa, ran out of steam there. And then, of course, the kids come, help you up. It was awesome. The locals are just phenomenal people, you know. They want to participate and be part of it. And this is a timed section, so again, I don't know how the points work, but I don't know how I could have got a lot of points on this one. It was just jammed up crazy. And we went up and up and up. And this is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a rock, weird kind of mud stuff. I don't even know how to describe it, but when it was wet, it was super slick. And there again, you know, it's like you have a problem, the kids help pull you up. It's just, they're so cool. But like here, you know, it's like you're kind of lugging it, but you somehow have traction. Of course, you know, somebody broke the town water pipe there. I'm sure that had to be repaired later in the afternoon. But we kept going up, and I thought, okay, cool. We're up in the trees. Now it's going to be smooth sailing. Look at this beautiful trail. Nope. That was not the deal at all. And
Stop in?
yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, hard, huh?
It's just
Difficult.
connection in the battery, so.
There we go.
I figure I got to help this dude. You know, I felt bad. His battery died.
Oh, shit.
I think that's him again there too, and we were all dying. I know he's got his bike running still, but I just had helped him start his battery, and it's like he just got stuck in the silt. Another dude ripped by, and I was right there. There was another dude behind me. I think the other guy behind me stopped to help pull him out. I was just gassed after pushing his bike at 10,000 feet up. So here, like after Panqueque, you start going down the other side, and I thought, okay, this will be simple. No, not at all. This was so steep and so rocky. I was like, man. And right here, I was just smoked. But, you know, this is probably 4.5 hours into the race, something like that. But it's, you know, you just keep moving. Got 4 more hours. Look at all these dudes. This is cool. These guys are so stoked. The worker guys are out there. I mean, just everybody giving you the high five. That is super cool. This is another section. Man, these guys are out in the trees crashed. I felt bad for that dude too, because there was snow coming back from that one. So I thought I better pull him up the hill. But look at this countryside. 1,000+ motorcycles going through here. What they did is they had like a novice class, like an older guy novice class, an expert class, you know, and there's different levels depending on age, and then there's like a super expert class. Oh, it was awesome. But so I raced the expert class.
We came back out of there. We rode all the way up the hill.
And that was my buddy Jose. He was a little downtrodden there. He got stuck in the forest for a while.
Some other kind of special section here. We got a little church. Okay.
Here's another time section. This was cool. This was like, I don't know. This is kind of like indoor or something. Going through this forest was cool. This was like 9,000, 9,500 feet. Here we go. Another bottleneck. And that dude got creative, so I followed him right into the jungle. I thought, this is my style here. Let's boondoggle it. And then all of a sudden, boom, after coming out of the jungle, I was right back on the single track, and I probably passed 35 guys. Same thing here. This is a classic Stanley King pass. Got another 5 there by going around. What would happen is those dudes would get hung up on the roots, which are super slippery. And once they were stuck, the guys behind them couldn't move. So as long as you were moving out. And this is another ancient, you know, Mayan trail here. Just beautiful. I mean, it just beats you up though, because it's just rocks and embedded rocks. I know on.
Muchas gracias. Dios te bendiga.
Yeah, that was a nice lady there where I bought some stuff from her little store. Here's another Mayan trail. You can't even imagine how big those rocks are and how much you're banging off them with the bike, but I got used to it. And this is coming down off the mountain. We're getting close to Xela now. We're probably 7 hours into the race, and this is Xela. So this race, as we got towards the end, I realized I'm just going to follow the dude in front of me, because earlier in the race, a couple times, if you didn't know the course, there were a couple places where it wasn't marked the best and I got lost. So I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to stay on these dudes and just keep going and not stop.
Wow. That's the Xela. Beautiful.
Yeah, and so going through Xela, this may have been the most frazzling part of the whole race, because we were weaving in and out of traffic, and I was following those dudes, and it was just nuts. And again, you're probably asking, why would you go to Guatemala? It's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I hear that stuff all the time. I'm sorry, but the United States is dangerous. I don't even know why they put those reports out. Watch this dude here. He like caught this curb wrong. I felt bad for him. Boom! Oh, that was brutal to watch, but we're so close to the finish line there too, you know. But we had to ride over the sidewalks and curbs, and I mean, it was just gridlock traffic in here.
Shit I think I've ever done.
There's some fucking wild shit.
That was fucking crazier than the Baja 1000, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean,
there we are, 7.5 hours later. This is the final part. And they were saying you can go around the trees if you want because you're over 50. I was like, sweet. That's what I did. When I heard Stanley King to Estados Unidos, I was like, I'm just going to roll this. I saw these tires. I had to hit them. That was pretty cool. But again, muchas gracias a todos. So, Revolution Bikes. Yeah, muchas gracias a Jose Rivas y su compañía on Antigua. Okay, and I got my medal.
Adios, Moto.
I was happy to say goodbye to the bike at that time. I really was. I wasn't ready to ride anymore.
Todo bien. It's perfecto. Corre bueno y todo. Y...
Well, there she goes. There's Chris at the start of the race. They didn't even get a picture of me because I had to rip out of there so quick. They got a picture of me here at the end. That's me, end of the race. Look at that, I got my medal. My eyes are just about shut. And here we go. This is where I thought I was going so fast. I'm all, oh, what a great race. All right, guys, thanks again. Appreciate you watching. See you out on the trail.